right, welcome to the third and final review of the evening. Up this time is the Sojourn. Uh, the PlayStation 4 version was acquired uh, for this review, which means it is the return of Petty Fan. This is his first solo outing since before the surgery.
hmm
So take it away.
So, from what I've played of the Sojourn, it's very much like Journey,
Uh huh.
in that there are puzzles you have to
Is
do,
that
but
the word is like French for journey?
yeah, um, but it's like there isn't a whole lot of action. It's more just you solve puzzles to get out of where you are, and there are several different methods. They involve going through what's called the Dark World, and you can interact with certain things while you're in that world.
How much of it involves following this light squidge?
All of it. Yeah, these light things are kind of showing you where to go. There isn't a whole lot, like there are things that are happening, but it doesn't say a whole lot what's going on. So like, all I know is I'm some person walking down a hallway. A lot of it is I don't think, because when I got it, the trailer wasn't up on the PlayStation Network, so and I guess a lot of stuff of what's going on's in that, which is weird.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, you're just kind of doing various puzzles. Like the graphics are nice. The music is personally kind of meh to me, but to each their own. I think it's more atmospheric than, you know, game music normally.
Game kind of reminds me of like The Witness
Mm,
or the Talos Principle.
Talos Principle would probably be a good one. Like there isn't any real failure state.
Mm-hmm.
So like if you get trapped, you can just hit start and restart the thing. If you fall off the platforms you're on, they just teleport you where you fall off. Fell off. And yeah, you just. I guess this is supposed to be about someone's life? Question mark? But yeah, let me try and get up here a little bit. I didn't know the end or the opening was this long.
Oh, so you're actually playing the game?
Yes, I'm playing it live through my PS4 because of the magic of network play.
Right, right. You weren't too sure if this was going to be a video or not.
Yep.
So, good to know that that's up and running.
Mm-hmm. And like the first few puzzles are just kind of here. Like it's telling me I can enter the dark world by getting onto this flame,
Mm-hmm.
and there are multiple other ways to get into the dark world. Like there are these special mirrors that you can rotate, and once you're in the dark world, they start projecting the dark world out that you can stand in if you put it like a crystal in them. And there's also gates you can go through that can either, depending on how you go through it, it can either turn on or off the dark world. And then yeah, for the flames, you have a limited amount of reach. It goes by how much you can walk. So if you go too far, then it'll just turn off. And there are like platforms that only exist in the dark world. You can only interact with various statues that you can switch places with, similar to Link's switch hook in Oracle games. I think is when you hit the switch hook.
Yeah, Oracle of one of them's. I forget which Oracle game.
But yeah, it's kind of like that. And like, there's no combat at all, so if you like puzzle solving, enjoy. Also, this is one thing I don't really like. The bright white loading screens actually hurt my eyes sometimes. So yeah, that's something they could really have fixed. And yeah, I think this is the first quote-unquote puzzle room. And yeah, every time you walk into a puzzle room, everything kind of just builds around you, which is an interesting novelty, but eh. And this is now showing us about the Dark World platforms. And I believe there should be a statue coming up here I can switch with. Yep. Any of these statues here that I'm looking at, I can switch places with when they're powered up. And then you can use this to do various things, like edge along on the Dark World stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then this game does a weird difficulty curve sometimes. There are some puzzles that were super simple, I completed it one shot, and there are some that it took me almost, 2-3 hours almost.
It's a long time for a puzzle.
Yeah, because I was just bashing my head against it because I didn't know what they wanted me to do.
Right.
And then I don't know how long the game is, because every time I thought I was coming to an ending, there was just some more game. And yeah, this is basically what you're doing. Like, the game's alright, but I kind of wish there was something more.
Mm-hmm. There's something more how? Or
Like, a little less, well, actually just more story or anything like that. Somebody else to talk to or whatever. Because, like, we have enough ways, the gameplay opens up a lot more. Like, you can't, there's still, like, it seems like there's still set solutions to the puzzles, but you get more ways to do things.
Right.
Like, this, they show us about the, weighted, or the switches that you need to put one of those statues on. And then there's more things, like later on there are harps that while they're playing, they make platforms exist. And then, yeah, it just keeps going. So I didn't catch the price on this one.
It is clocking in at $24.99.
Oof.
Which is not a surprise given the production values on display here.
Yeah, it looks really nice, and if you're just looking for something to basically do a sightseeing tour, then this will work.
Let's see. Not sure if that's the price on every. It should be the price on every platform. Like, also worth noting, this game on PC is on the Epic Games Store. So
yeah, it's coming to Steam next year.
Yeah, it's like it's your typical Epic Games Store exclusive.
Yeah,
it'll be. I'm like, unless otherwise noted, these like Epic Games exclusivities are for 1 year. There are some exceptions, but I wouldn't expect a game like the Sojourn to be one of them.
Well, it's also made in Unreal, so that's probably partly why.
Well, that's an extra incentive. Like if you you get a like further cut discount or something like that if you have a game that's made in Unreal on the Epic Games Store. But anyway, yeah, that's the circumstances of surrounding the PC version. But this isn't about the PC version. This is about ostensibly the PlayStation 4 version.
Yeah.
Though I'm like, it's like I'm not sure if the difference is because we can't match up the PC version with the PlayStation 4 here because we only got the PlayStation 4 version. I was not dealing with an Epic Games Store code because I don't want to download another launcher if I can help it.
Yeah.
So that's why I asked for the PlayStation 4 version because Petty Fan here hadn't done a review in a while.
Yeah.
So good way to get back into the swing of things.
Yeah. Overall, it's fine, but I think 24 is a bit much for it.
25, really.
Oh, 25, yeah. And then, yeah, I guess any questions?
Not really.
I'm good.
Oh,
Sorry, I muted Mike. Are there any really time-sensitive puzzle stuff, or is it all fairly?
Not that I've seen. Like, it's very just go at your own pace. The only thing that's even close to time sensitive is the harp things, and they still give you ample time to get over them.
Okay.
Anything else?
So your overall rating for this game?
Really depends on how you are on walking simulators.
It's not really a walking simulator. This is a puzzle. This is a first-person puzzle game.
Fair.
Because given what you've said about the game, the puzzles are the focus. Once again, this is like The Witness or the Talos Principle. Those were also first-person puzzle games that were about the puzzles. Like, if you want what we call a walking simulator, you want to look to games like The Stanley Parable or What Remains of Edith Finch, The Vanishing of Ethan Carter, Dear Esther, and so on and so forth.
Right.
There are distinctions here. Anyway, I think that'll about do it for the Sojourn, and indeed that'll about do it for the review session this week. Coming up on the week ahead, we've got a fairly big week this week because on October 9th, Wednesday, we'll be having back on the program Lauren Lanning. And joining us for the first time will be Benny Terry III of Oddworld Inhabitants. God, it's been, 5 years since we had Lauren on the program?
Feels like
something like that.
A while.
Like, I remember it was like October of 2014. Yeah, unfortunately, that's like one of the lost episodes. Well, sort of lost. Like the Oddworld Inhabitants interviews are one of the few first of the deleted reviews that are still available in, let's say, unauthorized formats. I mean, I found these interviews uploaded by other people.
Thanks for that, by the way.
And uploaded to YouTube, which is not a thing we did in 2014. But anyway, point of order is Oddworld's coming back to the program. We're going to be talking about Oddworld Soulstorm. We were supposed to be talking about other things, but it looks like those plans have been nixed. I'll double check with Oddworld about that, because our actual main thrust was going to be something different. But that's apparently not in the works anymore. I don't know what happened there, but I was just told that the last communication I got from the PR rep, not the actual people that will be interviewing, is they don't have anything to announce. Anyway, on Friday, October 11th, also returning to the program will be John Ingold of Inkle. Once again, I think we had maybe not 2014, like 2015, could have like it's been once again it's been a long time since we had John on the program. I do remember it was like both members of Inkle last time when we talked about the Sorcery series. This like I remember distinctly we were talking about the Nintendo Switch. Like it still hadn't been released yet. I don't think it had even been identified as the Nintendo Switch. Like I said, it's been many years since we had him on the program. He'll be back. We'll be talking about Around the World in 80 Days and Heaven's Vault. Specifically, like the Nintendo Switch versions of these. It's like the Around the World in 80 Days game has recently been released for the Nintendo Switch. And the Nintendo Switch version of Heaven's Vault is coming next year. We're probably going to be talking about those games in general because, like I said, the last time we had them on the program, the main thrust of the interview was Sorcery. We'll probably ask if the Sorcery series is also coming to the Nintendo Switch because I'm noticing a pattern here. Like, anyway. So that's what's coming up ahead. I'm looking forward to it. Some great. We had some great interviews with these people last time, and I'm hoping that this time around will be the case as well. So until Wednesday, I shall wish you good gaming.